Hello and welcome everyone. I'm Bonita Richter, founder of Profit Strategies and bonitarichter.com. Today you are on my complimentary webinar, Stop Focusing on Getting More Clients, Focus on These 5 Things First to Generate More Revenue. I want to express a very big welcome to you for being on this webinar with me today. Today's webinar is going to focus on how to increase the number of clients you have and the amount of revenue you generate by shifting your focus to what you need to look at pre-client and what drives and influences the number of clients and revenue you create. I'll also address how to sell more to your existing clients and the reasons behind why some clients will pay more or less for your products and services. As usual, I'm going to give you an action step or two to take, so get a pen and paper if you don't already have one. My intention is you leave this webinar with at least one thing you can easily implement to start getting better results, more clients, and more revenue flowing into your business easier. Most of you, if you've been following me for a while, know something about me, so I'm not going to go into a long story about myself. If you are new to me and want to find out more about my story, you can visit my website, bonitarichter.com, and click on the About Bonita tab. Before we get into the content, I have one quick announcement. Be sure to be on the lookout for a fall open house event I'll be hosting in early October, where you can come visit virtually and get a taste of something really special. I'm really excited about this. This is the first time I'm offering an open house event like this. I wish I could say more. What I can tell you is it's a place to get up-to-date, innovative business advice to pull you and keep you moving forward. It's a place to get help promoting your things so you reach a wider audience and sell more. I'll be releasing more news about how to take part in this open house event soon, so be on the lookout. This is what we'll be covering today. We'll be talking about 5 key numbers that determine the clients and amount of revenue you generate, strategies to sell more to existing clients to increase revenue, and key differences between charging a lower and higher fee and why clients will pay more or less. Is the answer to all cash problems simply to get more clients? The answer, surprisingly, is actually no, because the focus is being put on the wrong side of the cash creation equation. So what we'll be covering today will help you in this regard to get more clients and create more revenue in your business. So I have some questions for you. Is what you need more revenue? Or do you need something else first? Is creating revenue harder to do than you think it should be? Many small business owners think so. It certainly can feel that way. The majority of small business entrepreneurs really struggle to break through the revenue and income ceiling that seems to be invisibly keeping them stuck. Today, we're going to look under the hood of your business and take a look at the revenue generating engine to see what's not quite working right in your business, and we're going to tweak it. We're going to get your business fine-tuned and purring like a kitten and creating more revenue for you. Many people, many small business owners find it hard to generate cash in their business. However, we need to have and get the fundamentals in place in order to make it easier. The number of clients we have is the result of something else going on in our business. So is revenue. We must understand the math behind what is driving the numbers of clients and revenues we create. A basic formula most entrepreneurs are familiar with is fees times the number of clients equals revenues. There's actually much more to the equation about how to get clients and create revenue. This equation presented here is oversimplistic. We're going to be covering some very simple formulas and math today with these numbers that we're talking about. Being in business and being successful absolutely requires us to know this simple math and know how to figure out these numbers. Here is a better formula for revenue creation. It's the number of leads times your sales conversion rate, which equals the number of clients multiplied by the average sale per client times the average times clients purchase. That equals revenues. So you can see by just focusing on the number of leads and conversion rate and your fees that this leaves a big part out of the cash creation equation, the revenue generation equation. This is one of the reasons why creating revenue can seem so hard because there are missing pieces. Here are the 5 key numbers that determine the clients and amount of revenue you generate. The first number is the number of leads. The second number is the sales conversion rate. You're probably already familiar with these two numbers. The third number is average sales per client. Fourth number, average times clients purchase in 1 year. And the fifth number we'll be covering today is the cost of client acquisition. These last 3 numbers are ones that you probably are not as familiar with and may not be measuring in your business. Leads are the number of people who inquire about your services. You generate leads through your marketing and advertising efforts. Leads are the result of your marketing efforts and how successful they are. What counts as a lead? A prospective client lead is anyone who has raised their hands to find out more information and has expressed interest in your products and services. They can come in through phone calls, emails, your website, one-to-one conversations, networking, referral, you name it. There are many different ways that leads can flow into your business. The more leads, the more high-quality leads you generate, the more prospective clients you have. The sales conversion rate, which is the second number, is the percentage of client prospect leads that become clients. Do 1 out of 10 leads become clients? That is a 10% conversion rate. 8 out of 10 leads become clients? That is an 80% conversion rate. Sales conversion rate is all about the effectiveness of your sales process. To figure out your conversion, you need to know how many leads have been generated and how many of those leads became clients. And here is an example about how to figure that out. Number of clients, 10 divided by the number of leads, which was 20, equals a conversion rate of 50%. You can affect the number of leads and your sales conversion rate, but not the number of your clients, because the number of your clients is really a result of the number of leads and your sales conversion rate. So you really need to pay to those 2 numbers first to get more clients in your business. It's impossible to increase the number of clients and revenues you have until you increase the number of qualified client prospect leads and improve your sales conversion rate. So what is a good conversion rate, you might be asking? To some extent, that depends on your services and the type of services that you offer and your price points, as well as how well you communicate or sell your services to your clients. Let's talk about some generalities. If you have a higher price point, you might have a lower conversion rate. If your conversion rate is 80% or more, your prices may be too low. In general, a healthy conversion rate is between 50 and 70%. Where do you fall? Many of us think we need more clients. However, what we may need first is either more leads or a higher sales conversion rate or both. Let's now talk about the third number, which is average sales per client. Average sales per client is the average dollar value each client spends in a single transaction. If you have any experience in retail, restaurants, or the hospitality industries, you're probably already familiar with this term, average sales per client. Once you have a client, you want to maximize the sale to the benefit of them and to you. So let's look at the math here. The average sales is an easy number to arrive at. For any period of time, typically 12 months or 6 months, you take your total sales and divide it by the total number of clients that you have. This equals the average sale per client. A valuable way to use this number is to see how your clients match up to this average, how all your clients match up. You probably have a few who spend way more than the average that you've calculated, and you probably have many that spend far less. Over time, you want to see an upward trend in the average sale per client, the dollar value of this. This can happen when you raise your prices, when you increase your sales conversion rate, when clients buy more frequently from you. Having an upward trend in this number means you are growing a stable business that creates consistent cash flow. The next number is average times clients purchase in 12 months. We want to find out, how often do our clients buy from us? Remember, we're looking under the hood of our business, so it's all about the numbers here. It's the same thing as considering your blood pressure or your cholesterol or your weight. These numbers are all about the health of your business, the numbers that we're talking about today. They are indicators of whether you will or will not succeed in business to the degree that you would like. So to find out this number, the average times clients purchase, you can find this out by taking a look at your purchases and deposits for each client in your accounting system or shopping cart. Run a report that details the purchases or sales per client. There you will be able to see the number of times each person bought something from you. Look at the total number of transactions and divide by the number of clients in 1 year or 6 months. By looking at the numbers that make up your sales, you're probably beginning to get a glimpse at the exponential fire that is waiting to be released in your business. How do you do this? Let's take a look at the math. The average math, or the baseline math that we're looking at, the current condition, is we have 10 clients. The average sale per client is $1,000. The average client buys 5 times, which creates total revenue of $50,000. Now, what would happen if we have a 10% increase in the average sale per client and the average times purchase per client? You can see that the average sale has increased a small amount and the average times purchase per client has increased a small amount, yet look at the resulting revenue. There's a 21% increase in revenue and over $10,000 increase just by making some tiny adjustments. What if we do a 30% increase in these numbers? You can see there's a 69% increase in revenue, and the revenue has increased over $20,000. In fact, it's increased 60, 70, 80, almost over $24,000 is increased. That's pretty significant. What if we have a 50% increase? You can see that there's a whopping 125% increase in revenue, and the dollar amount has broken the 6-figure mark. But look at the average sales per client. The baseline number is $1,000, and by increasing it 50%, it's increased to $1,500. That is not that much. Yet look at the resulting increase in revenue. Same with the purchases per client. It's increased 2.5 times. These results are possible with a few adjustments. So I invite you to play with the numbers in your business. You can see how playing with these numbers really does make a big difference on your revenue, and it's not just a matter of simply getting more clients at your existing fee structure. There are other things that you can do that will have an exponential effect on increasing the revenue in your business. The fifth number we're going to be taking a look at is the cost of client acquisition, which is the time and money that it takes to generate a conversion, a client conversion, to get a client. It is essentially the cost of buying customers. I believe I can pretty safely say that many small business owners do not know how much it costs to acquire or buy a client. Here's how to determine your client acquisition cost. The first step is to write down the total cost of your marketing. So what this is this includes any graphic creation, it could be website development, it could be creation of your business cards, your logo, getting things printed, whatever it is. What is the total cost of your marketing? The second step is to calculate how much time you are investing in marketing because your time matters. And if you don't know what it exactly is, you can make an educated guess. But this is something that you want to capture in your business because when you are marketing, you are not working with clients. You are not in direct revenue. You are not doing direct revenue generation activities. So how much time did you invest marketing and then multiply that by your hourly rate? Step three is add these two numbers together, the total cost of marketing and your time invested. In this example, $10,000 is the total cost of marketing. The fourth step is write down the total number of clients. The fifth step is write down the total sales. Now this can be, again, on an annual basis, 12 months, or it could be for 6 months, or you could do it for every quarter. The sixth step is the acquisition cost per client. So what this is $10,000, which is the total cost of your marketing that you calculated in step three, divided by the number of clients equals $1,000. So for every client in this example that this small business owner has, it costs them $1,000 to acquire that client. Now a good number to calculate is the average sale per client. Sales of $50,000 were generated, divided by 10 clients, equals the average sale of $5,000 per client. That's pretty good. And then step 8 is acquisition to sales ratio. So what we do is we divide $5,000, which is the average sale per client, divided by the acquisition cost per client, which equals a 5-to-1 ratio, or $5 of revenues for every $1 spent was is the ratio, the acquisition to sales ratio, and that is a pretty good ratio. You're probably thinking what an okay ratio would be, and I was thinking about this, and I would consider a 2-to-1 ratio to be about as low as you would want to go. As long as you're making money, that is a good thing, but you want to be making as much money as you can for every dollar that you spend in your marketing. So 5-to-1 is excellent. 2-to-1 would be about as low as I would want to go for that ratio. So these 5 numbers that we just covered are excellent numbers that will help you not only get more clients, but create more revenue with more ease in your business. Let's now talk about strategies to sell more to existing clients to increase revenue. You want to see a trend of the average sale per client increase in dollar value. We've already talked about this. It's always easier to sell to a client that has already purchased from you than to get a new client. Existing clients are also more profitable for your business because you don't have to spend money to acquire or buy them. And you're already familiar with these numbers, so this is pretty awesome, isn't it? What we want to do is we want to pay attention to selling more to our existing clients first, rather than spending more money getting a new client into the sales funnel. Of course, we want that to happen in order for our business to grow, but let's not forget about our existing clients. We want to maximize sales to the existing clients that we have. There are a slew of strategies about how to increase the average sales per client. In everyday experiences you're having in the marketplace, you are already experiencing businesses trying to increase their average sale. Think about it when you go out to dinner at one of your favorite restaurants. The server always asks you, "May I get a beverage for you?" You may have been thinking you wanted water with lemon, but the fruity iced tea the server just told you about sounds delicious, so you order that instead. The server just increased your sale. While the server is getting your beverage order filled, you're perusing the menu, and you think, that crab dip appetizer looks really good. The server returns with your beverage and asks, "May I get an appetizer started for you?" You give in and order the crab dip. The server just increased the sale. You order your dinner, and after you've finished, the server comes back and asks if you've saved any room for dessert. Another attempt to increase the average sale. Here's a retail example. You visit Nordstrom to buy a new suit or dress. While you're trying on the dress, the salesperson will tell you about the perfect belt or tie. Would you like to see how it works together? You think, sure, why not? You try it on, you love the ensemble. You went looking to buy only a dress or to buy only a suit, but you left with a dress, a belt, a suit, tie, and maybe some new shoes or a handbag. All these examples point out to instances where salespersons are trying to increase the average sale. The main thing I want to point out is they are doing it in a way that adds value. Value, value, that's a key word, very important. The two mistakes small business owners make that hinders them from increasing average purchase or sale per client is they don't make an upsell or cross-sell offer because they think it's salesy. They feel salesy or they feel it's taking advantage of their client. Another thing they do is they wait to prove themselves first by delivering on a first purchase before they offer an upsell or a cross-sell. In the examples I gave you, when you go out to a restaurant, buy a new dress or suit, and you're being asked to upsell by the salesperson, does it feel invasive? Probably not if what is being offered truly adds value. And all these upsells or cross-sell offers happen that I explained as examples happened up front at the beginning and during the initial purchase process. You know the problems your clients have, and you are in an excellent position to give them a solution and value added element, an add on service that would help them get better results. So why not do it and increase your average sale per client? Let's now talk about the key differences between charging a lower and higher fee and why clients will pay more or less. The difference between a lower and higher fee is the difference between the practical and intrinsic value. For example, a car has a basic practical function of getting you from point A to point B. The add-ons that add intrinsic value are a navigation system, satellite radio, air conditioning, cruise control, a plush interior, the sound system, the horsepower and torque of the engine. These are all things that add intrinsic value but don't affect the practical value. It's still a car that gets you from point A to point B. The difference is one car costs $25,000 and the other car costs $80,000. A client that makes decisions mostly based on practical value will usually buy the low-end base models. Many people are wired to make purchases based on much more intrinsic value. They want the bells and the whistles and the plush interior, the luxurious accommodations, and a better experience. They're looking for a more enjoyable experience. And these people are willing to pay more, whether they're buying a car, choosing which hotel to stay at while traveling, which technology they're buying and how often they buy it, as well as the services and products they buy. Upsells and cross-sells are adding to intrinsic value. The key word once again here is value. You're giving a lot in exchange for receiving more cash from your clients. In the client's eyes, they need to be receiving much more in value than what they are paying, what they are additionally paying. One thing you want to do is market your things to your community and encourage them to make a first purchase. If they're happy with their first purchase, there's a high possibility they will make additional purchases. So add the belt to the outfit, add value, and get them purchasing something beyond the first initial and usually lower priced offering. In the coaching world, this perhaps could be the flow of this could be they purchased a teleseminar or information product. The next opportunity to purchase could be to work in a group program, then an opportunity to work in a group mastermind program, and then the opportunity to work one-on-one with you. Doing this helps to increase the average price per sale as well as the average dollars spent by each client and increases the number of times purchased. You know, when you're cross-selling and you're upselling and you're moving a client through your sales funnel. So here's the call to action, your takeaway. The first thing is to download the 5 key numbers handout, which is posted with this video, this webinar recording. The second thing to do is choose 1 to 2 key numbers to start tracking and measuring in your business. And these 2 key numbers are 1 to 2 key numbers are ones that you're not already tracking. And then as you get better at tracking, you can add more numbers and start tracking all 5. And of course, the third thing is to begin measuring and tracking these numbers. So download the 5 key numbers handout, choose 1 to 2 key numbers to track, and begin measuring and tracking them. Thank you for attending this complimentary webinar with me today. Let me know how you liked it and what you learned by emailing me at bonita@bonitarichter.com. Have a wonderful rest of the day. Goodbye.